All right, so the first bit we need to do in a deadlift is set our hip height. So when we go down here, essentially what the correct hip height is, when I'm in this position, I should have a V shape between my thigh and my torso. Okay, so it's gonna be somewhere here. If I'm too low in this position, my thigh looks like it's parallel to the floor. And if I'm too high in this position, then it looks like my torso is parallel to the floor. So I want to be somewhere between those two points. A good way to kind of figure out, or to get to a good way to get your hips in the right position is the position of your shins. All right. So when I am in this starting position here, my shins should be almost straight or almost vertical. When I'm looking down, the tip of my kneecap is around on this side of the bar, okay? I don't want to be too far like this, because now you can see that the shin angle is on a bit of a diagonal and the knees are way over the bar. So pull those back so you got the vertical shin. And again, you can see that when I change my shin angle, my hips change. What you don't want to do to get the shins vertical is by shifting into your heels. So don't do this. Okay, you can see I'm shifting into the heels. Yes, that does get my shins vertical, but I want to keep my weight in the midfoot. So to change your shin angle is just really just changing the height of your hips. Okay, so this position here, that is going to be the right hip height and shin angle. The next thing we want to do is, when you're at the bottom position, my back, I want to have it in this arch position like this. Okay, so I'm going to be rounding. So when I'm down here, before I start my lower back, I'm going to go like this, okay? And you can see that extends my lower back, all right, rather than being this rounded position. To do this, or to do this position here, it comes from the hips, okay? So if I'm standing here, being able to rotate my hips like this, you can see the seam of my shorts, okay? So here's straight, here's arch, straight, arch. I want to be in this arch position with my back obviously arched, okay? So this rotation of the hips, that is what I am doing in the bottom position. So when I'm here, my shins are vertical. Now I'm going to rotate my pelvis, my hips, and I make that arch, okay? If you don't know if your back is arched at the bottom or not, what you can do is purposely round or tuck your pelvis under, and then you can arch. And you can do that between every rep, just so you know when it's in extension and when it's not, okay? So when you're down here, you could round, arch, all right? And you can do that between every rep, which I'll show you in a sec. The last cue, after I do my arch, I want to pull the slack out the bar. So there's a bit of space between the barbell and the weight plate, okay? I want to make sure that I take that slack out. So when I'm down here, I'm essentially just pulling on the bar, okay? It's like I'm pulling the bar directly to the ceiling. When I pull the bar, you're going to see that my upper back muscles, they're going to get tight and retracted. All right, so from down here, if I pull on the bar, you can see my upper back gets tight. And you also know that you're doing it because you're going to hear the click in the bar. So, putting it all together, I'm going to call, when I'm doing the setup, it's called a 3-step setup. After I have set my hips, I'm going to step one, arch my back. Step 2, pull the slack out the bar. Step 3, breathe in, brace in my midsection. I'm gonna hold that position for about a second. So I don't want to, I guess, pull the slack at the bar, taking the breath and lift the bar up too quickly. I wanna do those 3 steps, hold it to make sure I'm in the right position, and then I stand up. So, to put that all together, down here, so my shins are vertical, I've got the V shape here, I'm going to arch my back, pull the slack out my bar, taking a big breath, then stand tall. When I'm down here, bring the bar close to me, re-put my shins in the right position. Sometimes when you drop the bar, you might go forward with the shins like this, okay? So make sure that you just readjust your shins so they're in the right position. Once they're in the right position, you do those 3 steps again. Arch, slack pull, breath. And as I was saying before, if you need to rotate your pelvis, if you can't tell your back is in the arch position, in between each rep, so I've lifted the bar, I'm back down here. What I could do is set my shin position. I could round my back by tucking my pelvis under, then go into extension, okay? So I'll go like this, extension, then pull, breath. If you need to round your back and arch, like I was just showing, you could do that for as long as you need. Then later on, once you know that your back is in that arch position and you don't have to do that whole process, then you don't need to do like purposely round and arch. You can just do like how I did in the first set that I showed you, that once I'm down, I just go straight into back extension, slack pull, breathe and brace, and then stand up.